Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, friends, welcome back to the Idaho Business Podcast. As always, sponsored by Health West, great organization, great healthcare. Give them a try, give them a call, give them a Google, find where they're closest to you, give them a holler. All right, everyone. This past week, I did something that I didn't love. I brought my family to Disneyland. And I say that because, there's many people out there that love Disney and they're Disney fanatics, and that's great for them. I'm not an amusement park guy. I'm not afraid of rides. Don't email me. Don't call me saying, "Oh, Spencer, you're afraid of rides, you little sissy boy." I'm not that guy. Listen, I ride them all. I just don't like to be around that many people and to be hot and have 14 to 16-hour days. It's just not me. Anyways, I brought my family there. It was my youngest. Sixth birthday. So I'm like, okay, she needs to experience Disney. I went there for her, but I left with a notebook full of business takeaways. So let's dive into that today, okay? All right. So if you've ever been to Disney, the difference you notice right away. The clean, organized, attentive. They're attentive. Everything is seamless. Staff recognizes my daughter's birthday without being asked. Everything you see. If you've been to other amusement parks and then to Disney, you really see it. And I've been to amusement parks where I've seen stickers peeling off rides. I've seen paint chipping. I've seen trash in the flower beds. You don't see any of that in Disney. Everything is dialed in, and they are there for the customer experience, and that is one of the reasons why they're so successful. Okay, now the lessons I took away from Disney is that you don't need to be Disney, but you can learn from how they make people feel. Are your clients just getting a service or a product from you, or are they getting an experience from you? So these are the things. Obviously, my wife, my kids, everyone else is probably thinking, "Oh, yeah, Disney, Mickey Mouse, everyone else, all these, Moana, Maui," and I'm over here thinking business, So I'm sick that way, I guess. So I did have some positives to take away from Disney. So I'm not hating on Disney. I'm just telling you, I'm not a huge fan of amusement parks. So we leave Disney. We end up, because this is my idea. I had to end our trip on the beach. I had to have a day of Zen, at least a day of Zen, to decompress from those 14 to 16-hour days at the park. Because my family, they like to open it and they like to close it. So I'm not that guy again. So we go to this beach. You'll go over to Huntington Beach. We have a nice hotel. We arrive early. Obviously the check-in time's usually 3 or 4 o'clock. So our room's not ready. No big deal. They take our bags from us. They do what they need to do, and we're like, you know what? Let's just go to the beach for the day and just enjoy while we're waiting for this room to get ready. So here's the magic. With no extra nickel and diming going on, the hotel provided the free beach chairs, the towels, the toys, the boogie boards, everything we needed. Umbrellas if we wanted, everything. And we just carried it down there. Even coolers if we wanted to. It was crazy what they would let us use. They made us feel taken care of. And then what little things in your business could make a big difference in loyalty and word of mouth. So think about it that way. So these are the things going through my mind as I'm going through my vacation. Obviously I'm enjoying myself. I'm on the beach now. I'm enjoying myself. So we get done um, with the beach, and I'm going to come back to the beach here in a minute. But I'm talking about the hotel right now. We return. I think check-in was at 4. We get there a little bit before 4. I do the whole check-in thing, and they're like, "Hey, your room's still not ready. No big deal. I'm there a little early. No big deal." But it was literally 15 minutes early. So, okay, I'll wait. At 4 o'clock, still not ready. I could have blown up, but instead I waited. I watched the kids play lobby games. They had ping pong tables. They had, all the fun stuff there. They'd even, give us the kids scooters to ride around the whole lobby. It's a very cool beach vibe to this hotel. So my kids are just enjoying themselves. About an hour past check-in time, normal check-in time that's stated. I'm thinking, okay, let's get in a room here. We're still kind of damp from the beach. We're messy from the beach. We just want to get cleaned up and enjoy ourselves. So we finally get the call about an hour after. Hey, the room's ready. Okay. I'm a little irritated that it wasn't ready when they said they was going to be ready, but whatever. I'm not going to blow up. I'm not that guy either. So because we all know in our businesses, things happen, right? So let's give them a chance to see, what systems they have in place to handle these situations. As I get the keys, they direct me to the hotel. The manager comes over. He apologizes, number one, which is great. Good dude. He was sincere about it. And then he says, "Hey, I'm going to waive your resort fees while you stay here, and I'm going to give you a generous food and beverage credit while you're here as well." So, it wasn't a huge, like some huge system they had in mind, but and maybe this was just the manager's discretion that he was using, but they did something. They did something to try to make me whole. Obviously they probably wanted to get my family out of the lobby because they were probably tired of my kids, screaming and yelling around the lobby because they're nutbags. But they, and I love them. But they did something. They did something, and it ended up with a good taste in my mouth. With this hotel, I would go back to them. I would go there again. I had a good experience just from that. And then all the stuff they provided for us and our families to enjoy the beach. Okay, so mistakes don't define a business. How they recover does. Okay, ask yourself, do you have a system for when things go wrong? Because that's where you win lifelong customers. I'm telling you that is dead on the money right there. Because not everything just is hunky-dory and your company's never going to make a mistake. Things are going to happen. But it's how you handle it is how it's going to how your customers are going to stay with you or leave you. Okay. All right. So let's get back to the beach for a minute. Okay. So at the beach, I was watching my kids play in the sand. Daughters were playing in the waves. They're loving life. Huntington Beach is great now. I heard 10 years ago it wasn't. There's probably a lot of homeless people on the beach. They've since cleaned up the beach. It's super nice. It's a super nice beach. There's a farmer's market going on at the same time. Just a cool vibe to it all. So I'm watching my kids play. I'm fully relaxed. I just got done playing with them in the water. Love doing that. And then I'm seeing my boys on the boogie board doing their thing, trying to catch some waves. They're doing their thing, and then the lifeguards get on the speaker and say, "There's a riptide over to the south in this area where my boys and these other people, many other people were swimming and surfing, and they said, we need you to move over further north to this nearest lifeguard station and beyond to be safe of the riptide." So of course, my boys, they look at me, I point where they should be going. They go over to where they need to be. They keep boogie boarding in safety. But I noticed that there were many people, and this is the lifeguards that made this announcement multiple times, but there were many people that left and did what they needed to do to get out, to stay in safety. but there were many people. There was less people that didn't move from this spot than there were that did, but there were still people that were still swimming in a spot that they know there was a known riptide. And I started thinking to myself, okay, they don't see the danger, but the helicopters above that keeps going back and forth saw it. The elevated lifeguard towers, they're seeing the current, but the people in the water, they're not seeing it. So they're thinking, oh, I don't see it. I don't see the danger. But there's probably nothing here. So whatever. Let's keep doing my thing. As I was there, nothing happened. But in business, how many times does your CPA, your coach, or your staff raise a flag and you ignore it? Okay, just because you don't see the issue doesn't mean it's not real. Ignoring warnings might not cost you today, but it will eventually. So, final thoughts here, guys, before we peace out for this week's episode. Be remarkable like Disney. Think of things that you can do to up your game and be like Disney. I always think of McDonald's, and now I'm going to think of Disney. How to be efficient. How are systems like McDonald's, and then how a customer experience like Disney. What can you do? It's easy to get to get a CRM and get your clients' birthdays in there, or certain special days in there, or whatever it needs to be to have that customer experience for your clients. Okay, be generous and prepared like the beach hotel. Be wise enough to listen to your standing, Be wise enough to listen like you're standing in the ocean. Ask yourself, what do my customers feel when something doesn't go as planned? Do we have a playbook for wow moments or for recovery moments? If you don't, it's time to get them. It's not hard to do. It's not rocket science. Just get something involved that you're thinking, okay, how do I make my clients feel like they are made whole again when things are messed up or we screw up? Because it's always going to happen. Things are going to happen in business, no matter what business it is. Okay? Doesn't matter if you're Elon Musk and the back hatch of your Cybertruck is closing too hard and you're chopping people's fingers off. Could be an issue like that, or it could be like, hey, our people didn't show up to service your property, or the product I sold you was faulty. How do you find yourself making your clients' lives better and giving them the experience they deserve? So ask yourself those things. As always, guys, be happy, be grateful, and serve others. Have yourself a great week. Adios. See you later.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.